All right, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today in our third webinar in preparation for Child Abuse Prevention Month. We're so glad that you took the time out of your day to join us on a Friday, and we have some neat things to share with you today. We're going to have 3 guests today that are going to be with us and sharing great ideas, and we'll give you just a few more minutes, give people just a few more minutes to get in, and then we'll go ahead and get started. Thank you for joining us. Can y'all see my PowerPoint?
I see your desktop.
Okay. Well, how about now?
Yes.
Cool. All right.
Hey, Chris.
Yes.
I hate to do this, but if I wanted to share my screen, would that be possible?
Absolutely. I'll give you control in just a few minutes, and Dexter, you can go first.
All right.
I'll make you the presenter in just a second. I'm just giving, people are popping in, so I'm just giving everybody a couple more minutes, or 1 more minute maybe, to get in. Good morning, everyone.
Of course.
Good morning, everybody. All right, it's a couple minutes past 10:30 now, according to my watch, and I just want to go ahead and get started. There's just a few things that I wanted to share with everyone. I hope you're all doing well on a Friday, and the countdown is in high gear now as we get ready to kick off Child Abuse Prevention Month. I know I'm not the only one looking forward to it. I'm really glad that we're making progress, and I'm hopeful that we'll be able to see each other again next year. I really miss all of you, being able to go to events and help you engage with the parents and people and partners in your community. So I really appreciate you all taking the time to join us today. And I want to just review a few things for you, and then we're going to go ahead and jump to our first presenter. So Wear Blue Day is on April 1st. I had a couple of questions about this after the last webinar, and I think I mentioned it briefly, but just to reiterate, we're doing it on the 1st this year so as to avoid Good Friday. So Wear Blue Day will be on April 1st this year, and I've already seen many of you getting ready to put your blue on and talk about ways we can prevent abuse and neglect. So I'm really anxious to see all the posts and the sharing and the photos. Really looking forward to that. Thank you all so much for supporting us and helping raise awareness. And This is something that your business partners can do, of course. It's really easy to do. Just encouraging everybody to continue to reach out and engage with other partners and other people maybe you haven't reached out to get them to participate in this easy and fun way to recognize Child Abuse Prevention Month. No fooling, it is on April 1st. All right. Next, I just want to say a little bit about today's webinar. This is webinar 3, as I mentioned previously. We will have representatives from Department of Children and Families, Circuit 7. We will also have that's Christy Gillis is with us from Circuit 7. We have Baruch Simmons from Heartland for Children. And we also have Dexter Lewis from the Children's Board of Hillsborough County. The previous 2 webinars were recorded. You can find them at the links that you see there. This webinar is also being recorded, and we'll put it up for view because we're going to talk about some really cool things today. The next thing I wanted to touch on is that the kickoff is set. I hope all of you got the email that I sent out. We're really looking forward to hearing from the new DCF Secretary Siobhan Harris. Anxious to see, to get her thoughts on where we are. Where are we in the prevention landscape, if you will? And where does she see us going? How can we focus more and pay attention to prevention, so to speak? And then for 30 minutes after the secretary gets off, I'll be talking, Nydia and I'll be talking with Zach Gibson. Many of you know Zach. He's in the Office of Adoption and Child Protection, Florida's Chief Child Advocate in the Executive Office of the Governor. And we'll also have Alan Abramowitz with us. He's the Executive Director of the statewide Guardian Ad Litem Office. And we'll talk about a lot of things as it relates to how we can recognize and focus and pay attention to prevention. We'll get some interesting information from those 2 guys, I'm sure. And here's the flyer. Many of you have seen this. This is how you can share the live stream kickoff. We have several partners that have agreed to join us for the live stream, and then many more of you who have graciously agreed to share the live stream on your Facebook page. If you have any questions, don't ask me. Now, really, you can ask me, but I'm going to forward you and let Jennifer, she's the expert. Jennifer Hartshorn will be glad to help you. Or we also have another lady that I may be able to get you to, depends on what you need. But Katie would also be able to help with that. She's helping us out with all this. So I'll get you to one of them because this is above my level of expertise. So just wanted everybody to know there's multiple ways that you can support the kickoff event. And then I was able to finalize the arrangements for our first webinar in April. I say first because it's the first one that we've been able to finalize the arrangements for. We were able to get the Prevent Child Abuse America Chief Research and Strategy Officer, Dr. Bart Klicka, is going to join us. And I mentioned Florida's prevention landscape a minute ago. Bart is very knowledgeable, as you can imagine, someone at his level, and he has a ton of expertise and knowledge, not just about what's going on in Florida as he sees it, but really what's going on in our country when it comes to our new focus on prevention in the country and in the state. He'll talk about our prevention landscape, if you will. Where are we now as it relates to secondary and tertiary and the claiming of $40, Families First Prevention Services Act, that kind of thing. But the thing that I'm looking most forward to hearing from Bart on is, where are we going? CBCAP, Community-Based Child Abuse Prevention Funds. Some of you may have heard Florida typically gets about $1.5, $1.6 million in CBCAP money, as we call it. Now, as a result of the American Rescue Act, we're standing in line to receive over $15 million. So I think that will be really interesting, and that will be something that we'll certainly be talking more about in the coming days and weeks and months. And then webinar 2. I have an idea for webinar 2, and I mentioned it in one of our previous updates, but I think there's been a lot of focus on frontline people, essential workers, that kind of thing. And I've had this conversation with a couple of y'all just recently, but I think that our frontline people in our child welfare world, the nurses that are joining us today, they're critical to our overarching system of care, so to speak. But so are the folks that go into people's homes, like child protective investigators and case managers. So I want to really thank those folks and talk to them about what it is that they can do to take care of themselves. We've all heard of compassion fatigue, and we've done webinars on compassion fatigue. So I won't focus exclusively on compassion fatigue, but I do feel like I really want to reach out to those frontline folks and talk to them just to say thank you and to give them a little more information, maybe provide a little hope for the future. So we'll talk more about that. I'll send you an update on an email. Finally, here's our contact information. You can reach me. I never give out my desk phone number. I haven't since I started. Thankfully and hopefully I won't always be in the office. And I just want you to be able to get in touch with me when you're ready to talk. So call me on my cell, email me, or email Jennifer if you have any questions about the toolkit or about communications, anything, any question you have related to that. You can really talk to either of us, and we'll help make sure that the other person gets the information that they need and gets you the information that you need. So all that being said, I am going to switch presenters now, and I am going to give control to Dexter. And Dexter, I am working on transitioning it over to you now. And you should have control now.
Okay, great. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Great. All right, yes, thank you for the opportunity, Chris. I'm Dexter Lewis, the Director of Public Relations with the Children's Board. We are Children's Services Council in Hillsborough County, and our mission is to ensure all children and families are healthy and safe, developmentally on track, have family support, and that they're ready to learn prior to going to kindergarten. And we do that by funding about 66 different nonprofits and 113 different programs in our county. So although we are maybe a step removed from DCF or the court system, obviously we have a vested interest in making sure just all children and families are supported. So the presentation I'll give today we'll cover basically what we've been doing the last 5 years. We've really made a big effort to do sort of a public relations grassroots effort to make sure that everybody in our county that has 1.2 million people and is growing every day are aware of child abuse and that it is an issue in our community, and to really just make sure that we're using our voice and our resources to make sure everyone is aware. So without any further ado, I'll move forward here. So I guess it won't let me like present it, but anyway. So every year we publish, did I stop sharing my screen?
No, we see it.
Okay. Every year we do, sorry, I'm not used to iWebinar. I'm used to Zoom and Microsoft.
Yeah.
But every year we do we make sure that we publish things in our local printed media. So we have opportunities to do earned media and paid media with our local Tampa Bay Parenting magazine. So the last 4 years, we've had a guest editor spot. And every year we also make sure that we place an ad, sharing information about one of our funded agencies that's really doing great work to support families. So, to my left is Kelly Paris, our executive director, had an opportunity last year to be the guest editor in Tampa Bay Parenting magazine, and she really spoke about the fact that it's everyone's job to make sure that we're bringing awareness to child abuse prevention. So folks from the business community, our local elected officials, and the community at large, stakeholders really need to make sure that we are aware that everyone's a mandatory reporter, and making sure that everyone's just aware that this is, again, an issue in our community. And then to the right, we published an advertorial sharing information about our local crisis center, the Crisis Center of Tampa Bay, again, to make sure that families are aware of all of the supports that are here to support children and families in our community. Every year, the first Tuesday of every month, we have, prior to COVID, we've had an opportunity to host our, so we fund an opportunity with Glacier Children's Museum for children and families to be admitted free to the Children's Museum on the first Tuesday of every month. And so for April, we've really been able to do a big kickoff event, and stakeholders, and we've really highlighted a reunification family that's been recently reunified every year the past several years. And so our executive director, Kelly Paris, was able to be in our local news Channel 8 program, highlighting the Free Tuesday, along with the fact that April's Child Abuse Prevention Month and what we were doing for our Free Tuesday back in 2018. Also in 2018, we do a lot with BACA, Bikers Against Child Abuse, and they were gracious enough to do a segment for us on ABC Action News, just talking about all of the great work that they do. They really are advocates for children and that are in the foster care system, but in the courts. And they really make sure that kids feel supported emotionally and spiritually as they're going through some really tough times. So they do a lot of great work, and they've really usually been a big part of our kickoff events. They bring their motorcycles up to the third floor, and we hope to, moving forward, once COVID is over, hopefully we'll be able to do even more things with them. And then we've also had segments again on our local ABC Action News, just sharing information about our kickoff event and bringing awareness to Child Abuse Prevention Month. Another part of the campaign that we've done, thanks to Ounce Prevention Florida, we order thousands upon thousands of pinwheels every year from Chris and his team, and we've really been able to blanket the whole county, Hillsborough County, with pinwheel gardens. So this first picture here is we were able to, in 2019, these are pictures from 2019, and I'll show some updated pictures from last year in a moment. We were able to have 23 gardens at all of the Hillsborough County public libraries throughout Hillsborough County, and we were also able to give them a supply of the caregiver guide booklets, so in English and Spanish and Creole, again, making sure that everybody in the county is aware of the issue and what they can do to support what's going on.
Hey, Dexter.
Every year.
Dexter?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, man.
Yes.
We're still seeing Tampa Bay Parenting Magazine. I'm not sure if the screen is just stuck or something, but
I don't know. Can you see it now?
we see Tampa Bay Parenting Magazine.
Well, okay. Am I sharing my screen? You said I'm sharing my screen, right?
Yeah, we see your screen. It's just stuck on Tampa Bay Parenting Magazine. I'm sorry.
I mean, I'm using Canva to do the presentation, so I'm scrolling as I'm presenting, since it won't let me present it if you play the show. I'm scrolling again, and all you see is Tampa Bay Parenting Magazine still.
Yeah. Just go
Okay.
ahead. We'll work behind the scenes to see if we can't figure it out.
Okay. Maybe I will stop sharing it and then share it again. And I don't know if that helps or not. But anyway, I'll keep going. So we partnered with the libraries. We also do a big pinwheel garden here at our building. And we have an east and west fence that will allow for 1,000 pinwheels. So we make sure that we have our building full of pinwheels as well. And that's been a big thing. We weren't able to do it last year, but we will do it this year on March 30th. So we're really excited about that. And it's a great way to bring all of our staff to be a part of that. Last year,
we are seeing it now, Dexter. Thank you.
Okay, great. Last year, we were able to have about 30 gardens despite COVID-19, and we, Donning Family Services had a pinwheel garden. We were able to partner with some local churches. The Crisis Center of Tampa Bay had a garden. The local YMCA had several gardens at several of their campuses. And Hillsborough County Fire Rescue, they have 46 fire stations. They were able to have 46 pinwheel gardens and yard signs as well. And then I sort of talked about our funded agencies, but these are some pictures from gardens from 2019 from our funded agencies. So it's great for them to be a part of it. They are providing critical services to children and families in our community. And again, it's a great way for us to bring awareness to the issue in our community. We've had some fun with our local colleges, Hillsborough Community College and the University of South Florida here in Hillsborough County as well, with some of the fraternities, sororities. As you can see, they've really gotten behind our efforts as well. Many of them, if they're not parents now, they were soon to be parents then when we were doing the garden. So it was a great opportunity for them to learn about the issue and what they could do to get behind what were our efforts. Last year, because of COVID, we had to shift a lot of our efforts to social media. We've always posted on social media. We have 3 very robust social media channels, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. But last year, we did a lot of posting of our efforts and what was going on, as everyone was on their phones stuck at home. So as you can see, we posted about Ounce Prevention Florida's webinar on August 23rd last year, and it reached 191 people and had 3 engagements and was liked twice and shared once. On Twitter, we were able to post our proclamation. So every year, the past 3 years, we have been able to work with all 4. We have 4 municipalities here in Hillsborough County, our Board of County Commissioners, City of Tampa, City of Temple Terrace, and City of Plant City. And each of them has been very gracious enough to get behind our proclamations and sign our proclamations. And so as you can see here, we did one with Temple Terrace that we posted on our Twitter page with the hashtag Stop Abuse, Child Abuse Now, and it was liked twice. But every year we shift sort of the focus of the proclamation. Last year really was talking about public health and making sure that folks know that, you know, child abuse prevention is traumatic and it really is a public health issue. Back in 2019, we really did a call to action to make sure that the business community and our local elected officials are behind our efforts. The business community making sure that they're donating and spending time with some of the organizations that are doing a lot of the great work, and making sure that our local elected officials are passing legislation that is supporting children and families in our community. And this last year, because of many of the stay-at-home orders, we know that a lot of the safety nets for children were interrupted. You know, many kids were not learning in brick and mortar schools anymore. This time last year, March and April, a lot of the parks were closed, many churches were closed. So those typical places where child abuse reporting would happen, where people would see something and say something, was really interrupted. So we really made sure that we shifted that for this year, even though feels like we're on the tail end of COVID. Obviously we are not, and we want to make sure that people are still aware that we're all mandatory reporters in the state of Florida. So the proclamation that we posted from the Board of County Commissioners reached 1,286 people, had 19 engagements, was liked 5 times and was shared twice. So moving on to this year, we are going to be having a big press conference with our Mayor Jane Castor, the mayor of the city of Tampa here in Hillsborough County, along with members of our board of directors and our executive director, Kelly Paris. Again, making sure that everyone is aware that they're mandatory reporters, but also making sure that everyone knows that they are that mandatory reporter. So we're excited about that happening on April 1st. In addition, we won't have our big kickoff event that we would usually have on the first Tuesday of every month, but Glacier Children's Museum is still open for that free admittance into the museum. So we'll be having an activity day on the third floor of the museum where parents can come and make a high quality paper pinwheel. And we're really excited about that. I think it will be a great event for kids and families, a bonding experience, and also a great opportunity for them to learn about more resources in Hillsborough County. We've also shifted and been able to, as you can see here, I hope you can see it, we'll be having 4 billboards throughout Hillsborough County in 4 high traffic areas in our county where people can learn that it's Child Abuse Prevention Month in April, and then they can learn how to report child abuse. As you can see, we have the website, Ounce Prevention's logo, and the Children's Board logo on the creative for this. And that will begin playing on March 31st, so the day before April 1st, and it will run for the entire month. That advertising campaign will run the entire month of April. And then again, because we're still trying to stay safer at home and remain socially distant, we have partnered up with the Department of Children and Families, and they're going to be doing a virtual reporter training that we will broadcast on our Facebook page. And so we will begin marketing for that early next week. And we'll just be talking about what parents and caregivers and residents of our county should be looking for before they report child abuse cases, or what to report if they suspect child abuse is happening in their community or in their neighborhood. And so we thought it would be a great way for us to really reach out to our 5,000 plus Facebook followers and make sure that everyone is aware of the issue and what they can do as an individual resident and as a family and as a community. So that concludes my presentation.
Dexter, awesome, man, fantastic. I love the billboards, and we appreciate y'all greatly. The Glacier Museum event day was fantastic. I love the area behind the museum too, and how y'all are able to use it. The billboards, it's great, man. Thank y'all. Tremendous partners.
Yeah, thank you.
Great work down there. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Great.
I'll add one more thing. I think, as we go forward in thinking about prevention in Florida, we've had mandatory reporting laws for many years now. And I think we can never oversell or overdo the attention that we want to direct to when someone does see something that concerns them. It's not necessary that they prove the abuse or neglect. We're asking them, if they have reason to suspect abuse or neglect, to make that phone call and let people know what's going on. Talk to somebody about what they see.
Great.
So thank you very much. I appreciate it, Dexter, and thank y'all. We'll be talking soon again, I'm sure.
You're welcome.
All right.
Thanks, Chris.
Of course. And then next, I wanted to give our friend Christy from Circuit 7 a chance to talk. And Christy, I don't think you have any slides. I'm just going to let you start talking.
Okay. No, I do not. I do not have any slides, and thank you for having me here. Again, my name is Christy Gillis, and I am the Circuit 7 Community Development Administrator for the Florida Department of Children and Families. And we have been quite busy here in Circuit 7 trying to plan activities for Child Abuse Prevention Month. In the past, we have done town hall meetings and activities, but with COVID and social distancing, we had to think outside of the box. So it's really been a community effort to do. I have a whole list of activities that we're doing. Each community is a little bit different. We started outreaching to organizations that have been doing food drops during the pandemic, and thinking that's a perfect opportunity to outreach to families that we may not necessarily come in contact with every single day in order to get prevention materials for them. We've been hosting weekly planning meetings throughout our circuit in each county for about 2 months now. We're revving up for our events. We have partnered with, I'm just going to name a couple of Volusia County schools, Daytona Tortugas, that's our local minor league baseball team, our Early Learning Coalition of Flagler and Volusia, Daytona Dream Center, our child welfare agencies. We have 2 in our area: Community Partnership for Children and the Family Integrity Program. Also with Flagler Care Connect, Epicure. We've been working with our school districts as well, our Flagler County schools, also with ounce of prevention. Anytime I have a question, we're always able to outreach to Chris. He's always will pick up the phone or answer an email, even if we're in the middle of a meeting and trying to figure out, you know, how we're going to get something done. We've also worked with St. Johns County Sheriff's Office, St. Augustine Youth Services, who provide outpatient. They're also a residential program, Pace Center for Girls, Target, Family Life Center, the County of Flagler, Volusia Department of Health, CDS Behavioral Health Network, our local SEDNet, as well as us, the Department of Children and Families, and Flagler Care. So again, this is a whole community seeing what we can do to help get, make this as a successful month. Our featured event is, if anyone knows me, they know I'm a huge NASCAR fan. And so one of my goals, we were actually able to get Daytona International Speedway to light up blue for the first week of April. So we're trying to plan an event there at the racetrack to get a picture scheduled. So that was, again, anyone that knows me, that was huge for me. So I was very excited, very excited about that, as they're right in the middle of our community. We also have a shopping plaza that's across the street from the racetrack, which is called One Daytona. They're lighting up blue for the whole month. Daytona International Speedway Corporation will be having a pinwheel garden right there in front of their main office building. And so we're able to share those events. The other events, the food drops, we're doing one in each county. So we've partnered with school systems. The one that we're doing in Volusia County, again, with our minor league baseball team, the Daytona Beach Tortugas, we're doing it there at Jackie Robinson Stadium with the Daytona Dream Center. And if it wasn't for Chris's help with, you know, I outreach for cone rental, not having done this before. When Daytona Dream Center says we need 100 cones, I'm like, where do I get cones from? But again, working together and to get that, we'll be able to get that funded. Some with the pandemic, there's a lot of kids organizations that need the community service hours. So we were able to outreach to Pace Center for Girls that are going to stuff our bags, as well as St. Augustine Youth Services. So trying to be innovative on how to involve the community has been very beneficial. So the kids are going to be able to get those community service hours. And if you've never stuffed bags, it takes a long time, a lot longer than you expect that it's going to take. Our school bus drivers for Volusia County Schools they're all going to wear blue on April 1st. We also sent out the activities through Ounce and Prevention where they can make pinwheels. So the schools can make pinwheels, put them there in the bus loop. So when the bus pulls up, the driver will be in blue, and there will be pinwheel gardens there at the school. We are also working on a couple of buildings that are getting lit up blue. We have Putnam County Courthouse that is lighting up blue. We also have one of our major insurance companies in Ormond Beach. We just got confirmation that they're lighting up blue. We're working with our local hospitals to see if they'll light up blue. So again, contacting anyone and everyone that we are able to. As this is a community effort, we have our local Boys and Girls Club that they have 12 service centers here in Volusia and Flagler County, and each service center is going to have their own activity. We're also asking everyone that they send us pictures. So as a circuit, we're going to put together a collage of all the activities that we are able to do. Yesterday, we found out that one of our DCF partner sites is opening up a food pantry, and they are willing to and is actually opening up on April 1st. So do a live webinar or a live stream there from their food pantry. They also have a community garden. They've been working with families all throughout the pandemic, so getting that information out there, and they've been a huge supporter of the Department of Children and Families and any effort that we've been doing. We also just found out, as I was on this webinar right now, there's a local art walk that's going to occur. So we just got invited to participate in that art walk up in St. Augustine on the 2nd, where people can draw. There's going to be some canvases, so you can come, you can paint, you can participate. They're going to have blue handprints. So really engaging the whole community in anything and everything that we can do. And we are going to have over 1,000 bags that we're going to give out with prevention materials throughout the circuit. So also giving out information from ESS as well as behavioral health services, and then our Safe Swim, anything and everything that we can do, we're trying to get it out there. So again, it's been a definite community effort in this. We have all 4 of our counties, we're working on getting proclamations. We have some of our cities that are doing proclamations as well. So we've been quite busy in our area.
Wow, Christy, I know I've said this to you individually, but I just want to again tell you what a great example Dexter set, and then you come in and just add a whole other way of doing things and more things to it. What a great example of outreach that you've done in your community, and I knew y'all would knock it out of the park. Speaking of knocking it out of the park, partnering with the baseball team, with the minor league baseball team. We have a couple of other areas that do that. I think that's a great idea. And we just appreciate y'all so much. I cannot wait to see pictures and to hear and see more about everything that goes on in Circuit 7. So thank you, Christy. We appreciate it.
Thank you for letting me present. And this is my first year planning this. So, we're hoping that it will be very successful.
Yeah, we learn something literally every year. So thank you. All right. So now we've had the west coast of Central Florida, the east coast of Central Florida, and now we're going to go into the middle of Central Florida, and we're going to hear from our friends at Heartland for Children. And Varut, I am working on making you the presenter right now.
Awesome.
So welcome. We're glad to have you.
Thank you. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Awesome. So my name is Varut Simmons. I am the Community Engagement Specialist here at Heartland for Children. Heartland is the lead community care agency that serves Polk, Hardy, and Highlands counties. Chris reached out asking us if, we could present, some of the various initiatives that we have going on for Child Abuse Prevention Awareness Month. So we always, like to take these opportunities, just to share and also, get ideas from the other agencies to see, what are things that they're doing that we can adopt as well. So I'd like to just start off with moving into our proclamations. So every year we do proclamations at our school boards. So that's the Polk, Hardy, and Highland school boards, as well as the county commissioners' offices for those same territories. And then we do select cities. Usually, we've done these cities so long that, some of them reach out to us and actually request, when are you guys going to be submitting your proclamations? And for us, it's always, interesting to see how much these officials get behind not only just passing the proclamation, but also incorporating, a lot of it into the various work that they do. This year, our proclamation is really centered around ACEs and understanding the impact that trauma has not only on individuals, but on families, and how as a community, we can support that and help diminish some of those negative effects. And then we look at other broader community awareness strategies. So I know we've reached out to the Carol Jenkins Barnett at our foundation at our Lakeland Regional Medical Center here locally. And in addition to our city of Lakeland, they do, have certain parks that, may have fountains that we can have lit blue, but we also, accompany those requests with press releases. So it's not only about, like people just seeing blue and liking the color blue, but understanding, that community buy-in and, how important, it is for everyone to get involved in, ensuring that our children have great childhoods. As Dexter mentioned, I know our Pinwheel Gardens, it's huge locally. We do have over 100 sites this year, and every year it grows a little and a little. So we definitely really appreciate our community support in this throughout the year. We have various fundraising initiatives that we're able to procure these Pinwheel Gardens and display them throughout our community. One of the really cool things that we've done is blend our positive community norms campaign with our Pinwheel Garden. So each Pinwheel Garden will come with the pinwheels, but they also come with a yard sign that on one side will have the child abuse awareness information, but on the back side, it has our positive parenting norms. For those of you who may not be familiar with that campaign, it's really based in research that is supported by normative theory, where we believe that parents, do what they think others are doing. So if parents feel like other parents are making risky decisions, they're more inclined to make those, risky decisions. However, all of our research shows us that most parents, do what's best for their kids, and they want what's best for their kids, and they parent best when they receive support. So a lot of our campaign is built around providing supports to parents, because we know if they have that information, they will make the best choices for their families. And then this takes us into this other segment where we truly believe, in our parents, and we believe that once they're provided with those resources, they can really be self-sufficient and address a lot of their issues. And if they aren't able to do that, connecting them to folks that can help. So we do that in various ways. Now, based on COVID, we have had to cut back a lot on our community events. We weren't able to do our signature event last year, which is our Pinwheels in the Park event, where we partner with the Lakeland Flying Tigers. And we're also not able to do it this year. However, we are seizing other local opportunities. So I know in Highlands County, they're having a soda festival, and in Hardy County, they're having their county fair. And we, alongside our community partners, are working to set up tables where we can provide information, whether it's water safety. I know with COVID, we've seen a spike in those drowning cases. So we definitely want to take every opportunity, that we have to educate our families on water safety, on safe sleep. As we head into the summer months, we're going to be talking about, leaving children in hot cars, because unfortunately every year we see those debts. So we really want to seize any and all opportunities that we have to provide families with information and resources. Another great way, that we do that, our United Way partner, they're, exceptionally well at getting their brochures, and they do a printed resource guide out to families. So they're including, those supportive information as well. Heartland has been working with Aunt Bertha for over 4 to 5 years now. For those of you who may not know, Aunt Bertha is a web-based resource platform where you can go on for our area. The URL is heartland.ambertha.com. And recently, the state of Florida, through the Department of Children and Families, has partnered with Aunt Bertha to have the My Florida, My Families platform as well. So they both, work hand in hand, where if you're in need of services or you're working in a family that's in need of services, you go onto the platform, enter your zip code, and you're able to navigate all of the providers, within that platform. So from our child abuse prevention awareness, it's really just about providing that information. So connecting those families to those resources. Also, as Dexter alluded, that social media in the COVID world definitely was boosted since a lot of people, we didn't have those opportunities where we could be face to face, and we became more reliant on social media for information. So this year we are launching a Did You Know campaign. So, a lot, especially in some of our more rural counties, when you speak to folks, a lot of people feel that there aren't resources in their community. So using that information, we really seek to highlight programs that we believe will benefit families. So, for instance, our ELC or learning resource centers for, a lot of families who have struggled with the remote learning. There's opportunities for your children to get additional help, and just providing access to those resources that folks may not know about. I know we do have, a pretty significant presence in Facebook for our local community, so definitely getting that word out through that way. We've also decided that we will launch the Parenting Tip Tuesday campaign in the month of April, but it's something that we plan to carry on past that. Now, how we wish to go about doing it, we can do this via infographics, or we've also talked about going live on Facebook and Instagram, just having conversations about, issues that parents, may face. So just providing them with that expert advice, and, big picture is helping to, mitigate some of that risk. So for instance, some families may struggle around potty training. We do see, a significant amount of cases coming in with regard to that period of a child's life where frustration is high for many parents. So, just having those conversations around that. We're also partnering with Embrace Families to support their manicure movement project. Basically, this campaign was founded around the purpose of teaching people how to detect, report, and support, children who may be exposed to abuse or neglect. One of the strategies that they use is painting your index finger blue to support the data that says 1 in every 5 children may experience abuse or neglect before the age of 18. So it's to serve as a conversation starter, but also, just a means to bring attention to the issue. I know that this year they're going to be relying heavily on the internet for the campaign. So I believe they're hosting a series of webinars aimed at providing information about ACEs and trauma and how individuals can best support children and families throughout their community. In the same breath of social media. This was something that we did last year, and we're gonna likely repeat it again this year with some minor modifications. So for Rare Blue Day, we hosted a selfie contest, which we encouraged people to, hashtag Wear Blue or hashtag Great Childhoods, and tag us and post the picture, sort of just to generate that conversation and bring that excitement towards child abuse prevention awareness. And also another opportunity, we had is for our signature event, the Pinwheels in the Park, a ticket giveaway. So if families picked up Pinwheels and they wanted to take a picture with it or do something fun and creative, we had another online competition where we would rate those and then award that family with tickets to the game. And I think that's a really cool idea that's adaptable to any format. So if you have access to a children's museum, or anything like that, maybe you could partner with them. They can donate tickets, and you have a fun contest or of some sort online, and it's just really to increase the visibility and increase the chances of people having those conversations and really discussing ways in which we all can do our part to support children and families and ensure great childhoods. And this is also another really cool event that every year we look forward to see how much the landscape is changing over the years. So it's going to be on April 1st this year. We have speakers from the courts, from the sheriff's office, the Champions for Children Foundation, and basically it's so awesome to see the work that Highlands County has done. They have implemented the Handle with Care initiative, where the school board partners with the local law enforcement. They've started the process to have a trauma-informed community, and all of the presenters. It's really to discuss the various ways we can all work together and wrap around our families to ensure we have healthy families and ensure that our children are set up for success in any way possible. So this event is usually to kickstart the month, and then we have various things going on throughout the month. Some of those things include capacity building initiatives, so not only geared towards our system of care, but also geared towards the wider public. So we have offer the TBRI, so the trust-based relational intervention trainings, to foster parent groups, to educators, just so that when we understand that trauma is real, we understand that it's ever present in everyone's lives, but we also understand that resilience is built out of that, and providing the adults that may be supporting our children with the tools to maximize those opportunities for resilience is something that we always strive for. So we do the same thing with the Darkness to Light. That's a training geared towards equipping adults with the tools necessary to detect and support victims of sexual abuse, primarily children that they may be interacting with. So that's another way that we increase the capacity of not only our system of care, but the general public in protecting our most valuable asset, which is our children. And then resilience, we have, I believe, 2 to 3 copies locally, and we have folks that are trained in presenting the film. So we always seize any opportunity that we can have to promote resilience throughout our community and have that discussion on how trauma affects the brain, and then the effects of ACEs on a lot of our families. And I'd also like to take this opportunity to say that we, Heartland for Children, has been awarded a grant where we have partnered with Central Florida Healthcare, and they're now going to be rolling out the ACE surveys as a mandatory part of their workflow and screening of all the patients that are seen at those facilities. So it's something that I think it's a 4-year pilot that they're going to roll out throughout all of their offices in Polk, Hardy, and Highlands County, and hope the data that's garnered from that could lead to a more systemic adoption of the practice. So yeah, I think that sums up for most of what we're gonna be doing for the month. There's other things that are happening, like for instance this weekend, the Kappa Deltas of Florida Southern, they are one of our partners that they host the annual 5K. So they're doing that tomorrow. For anyone who may be interested, it's a virtual 5K. You can run it from anywhere. Your time is tracked through an app. And it's a great way for your family to have fun and be healthy, but also support a great cause. So I think that sums up our activities for the month of April in child abuse prevention awareness.
Baruch, that was awesome. Thank you. Lots of great information, lots of ideas that other people can utilize, I'm sure. I'm really glad that you mentioned the Kappa Deltas as well. I wanted to let people know that they are a national partner with Prevent Child Abuse America. They've also worked with our office, and so they would be great partners, as well as the Sigma Delta Tau sorority. So either one of those, if you have a school or college that has a chapter of either one of those sororities in your area, they're great partners to team up with too. So thank you, Baruch. Thank you, Christy. Thank you, Dexter. Great information. I just want to thank everyone for tuning in, for joining us during this whole lead up to CAP month. There's a couple of other little things I wanted to add. One is that we've heard a lot about mandatory reporting. Not that to take anything away from that, but I think one of the things I want to begin to talk about as it relates to parents and to keeping children out of care and to primary prevention in general is being a mandatory supporter as well. Because I think especially those of us who are parents and who have been caregivers, we all need help every now and then. And I want to just talk about and help us all to talk about and understand how we can decrease the stigma when it comes to asking for help, but also to being willing to receive help. And there is a little bit of difference there, and that's something we can talk about more over the coming months and years. So thank you, Baruch. Thank you, everyone. I wanted to ask Jennifer Hartshorn if she would take just a minute, because one of the things we heard, and I saw an article the other day in the news clips, was over in Fort Walton, the county commission did a proclamation for Child Abuse Prevention Month, and I know we've had a couple of questions about that. So Jennifer, can you talk just a little about the proclamations?
Well, we have a couple of options for proclamations. So we always spearhead the request to the governor's office for the governor to sign a proclamation, and some folks will use that proclamation that the governor issues at their event as part of reading it out loud or distributing it to partners. So that's available. That will be available whenever it is returned to us from the governor's office, assuming they'll approve it, which they always have. So that's moving, and we never know when we'll get that back, but we do know it's moving. So hopefully we'll have that very soon. And we will, share, we'll post it to the toolkit page, but we'll also send it out separately to all of our partners. So hopefully you're on Chris's email list, so you'll be able to get that. If not, let us know so we can put you on the list. But also if local governments like county commissions and city governments would like to issue their own proclamation and you need some language for that, we do have the draft language available on the toolkit page under the customized documents. And so you can use that language, you can edit it. It's there for you to use as you and the entities that are going to be using the proclamation see fit, but it's good starter language for anyone to use as you need to.
Thank you, Jennifer. I appreciate that. And I see that we're almost out of time. I just want to remind everyone, reach out to us if you have questions, if you have ideas, if you have suggestions, if you have feedback in general. We would love to be able to hear from you, and we appreciate you all very much. And we will look forward to seeing and hearing from you, not just at the kickoff, but through the whole month. So thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate what you do very, very much. Have a good rest of your day and a fantastic weekend. Thank you all. Goodbye.